Upgrades.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back yet again for another episode of Heavenly Delusion. Hope you guys have enjoyed our coverage so far. We went through the first 5 episodes already in a non-spoiler capacity. Moving forward, every single individual episode will be spoiler involved. So just make sure you understand that I'm gonna be going across the board for anything that's happening in each individual episode moving forward. So without further ado, episode 6. Episode 6 was not only the most anime episode yet, but it was freaking hilarious. I could not stop laughing. I was traumatized and very surprised with a lot of different things that happened in this episode. I don't even know what to harp on first. I'm just going to kind of go through some of the silhouettes and some of what went down. So at the beginning of the episode, from where before they got a tip that there was like fresh water, like 100% clear water. They got a map, kind of let them know what they got to do. They saw this little girl. She's like, I got fresh futons. She confirmed what they said, and they're suspicious with the map. They get to the location where the water is, and it's dead bodies, or at least one dead body and somebody that was dying. And he was like, please help my friend. The friend was already dead. And then they thought they saw what looked like, I ain't gonna say a kaiju, but a monster, right? A man-eater. Got on top of the man-eater. It didn't work. And what was so funny about it is like the bear looked like surprised. Like, what are y'all doing? And then it proceeded to go against them. Now, this is one thing I thought was fascinating about the bear. They've been doing that a lot in this whole entire series. It's like the infection, like the little black spots infection. It's fascinating to me because you get to see different aspects of what this infection is doing. And the fact that the bear got infected and like most of his hair is gone, but he doesn't seem like he's dying, but he definitely doesn't seem like he's okay, right? And so that aspect in and of itself was creepy. I thought it was a really nice touch. But then, they're cornered by the bear and they're put in a very precarious situation. This whole setup it's equally hilarious and essential to the characters' dynamics. I really can't understand their relationship. They teeter from a Joel Ellie relationship. They teeter from like a brother-sister relationship. And then they teeter from like these people are destined to be together relationship. It's so weird. There's moments that I ship them. Then there's moments that I just it's comedic gold, and I'll tell you why. So the scenario was they were stuck on there, and Kiruko dropped the battery, and like he was like, what am I supposed to? What are we supposed to do? We about to die. I can't stay. We can't stay up here. And so she kind of, they presented themselves and were like, look, you see me as a man, you see me as a woman. And something along the lines, I'll let you fill me up, right? The moment that she said it, it reminded me of oh my God, from Chainsaw Man. I can't remember his name. God, he jumps down, grabs the battery, and in the smirk on his face, it was comedic gold. When I tell you, like, I was cracking up because he was like, I'm ready to risk it all. And then the payoff with that later on, when they do get out of the situation, They get back to the bedroom and stuff like that. And Kiruko is kind of like, look, man, like I'm a girl, but I'm also a man. And if you do this, like you're gonna be basically, doing this with a man. Like, you comfortable with this? Like, how do you feel about this? And in so many words, he was like, look, bro, I don't care. He was like, I could care less. And he proceeded to kind of, feel her up. And like they made too much noise. And then lo and behold, something else happens. And again, like the way they set up that comedic side of all that was golden. Like it was legitimately hilarious. I was floored. I couldn't believe that they went down that route because Maru, he don't care whether or not she's a girl inside. Like he's made it very abundantly clear that he just has feelings for them, right? And I still think that their relationship is very strange. And again, it's weird because they do have a brother sister relationship, which I mean, it feels very incestuous at times. But at the same time, they're not blood relatives, but they are technically a man, but in a girl's body. And the weirder thing is that Kiriku's, I feel like from the last episode, even in this episode, there are moments where they are dealing with um, what's the word? I don't know how to say it without coming off weird. I'm not saying that there's like a hormonal imbalance at times. They're giving off that as time is progressing, they're becoming more and more what body they're in. And I think just biologically, there are certain things that are happening. Because the last episode, when she thought that he is gone, she almost had a panic attack. Like it bothered her so bad. And it's not just attachment theory. It's not just that, it was more like I can't lose this person, right? And maybe it's due to trauma from losing everybody before. Like they've made their focus on this exact person. But then in this episode, you know, again, I showed you the picture of that weird moment, but then the end of the episode, they're holding hands, and that was initiated by Kiruko. So it's so weird of a relationship. I just cannot pick it apart. I try, but I just cannot. I cannot narrow it down at all, man. It's an enigma to me. It really is, and I don't know where the relationship is going to go. Now, and you think that that is the end of the foolishness, right? Like there's no other scenario where this gets worse, right? Well, it gets worse. It gets way worse. And what I mean by worse is hilarious, but at the same time very lewd. Because the person that posted them up the food time set them up, but they were kind of like gracious of bringing the boss back and happy, and like they kind of were like, look, I don't know about her, but I'll do it. And I was like floored because, I mean, she grabbed his hand, put it on her chest, and he had a reaction like as though like it was a monster. And he was thrown off. He was like, he called his sis, like, sis, help. And I kid you not, bro. Even the narrator threw me with this. The way that he was positioned, it didn't do him any favors. And the narrator was like, no matter what Maru does, could never stop him from the shame of this situation. There's no explanation. No, I was crying, laughing. It was That's why I said like this is the most anime episode ever. Because again, I'm talking about great things, comedic wise, but if I go back to them being on the pillar, and yes, there was an emotional connection that kind of happened, but there was a moment where Kiruko was like, look, you go down there, get the battery, and I'm gonna give you the gun. I'm gonna climb down, and once you kill the dude, I'm gonna do this. And he was like, no, you're a better shot than I am. You've saved me at least 5 times, and I'm more than capable, but I couldn't do this without you. And it's like there's this metamorphosis that happens within their head where you go recount like if you watch the episodes up to this point, you can hear like the different moments where they failed or people have said, no, you shouldn't do this. And looking up to what they're capable of now, they didn't even realize it. And it's almost like this shot of confidence that they needed And it's just fascinating to see the character growth in that, because there's real rawness to it. And again, even though that there's great comedic side, there's this emotional resonance that I get from that specific moment. Right now, while all that's going on, Tokyo's having like a lot of problems because Tokyo thinks that they're sick from everything that kind of happened with the person that fell in love with them, succumbing to the disease that we still don't know how, Maru is seemingly the cure to it all. But Tokyo was dealing with it very harshly. The weird thing was, the last episode, they were introduced to the babies, right? And they left a footprint there, and it implicated them. And so Tokyo thinks they're sick. They get analyzed, and they're throwing up, but they're starting to have like dreams/visions while they're in the doctor's office. And the weird thing is, I kid you not, there's a freaking creepy moment where the person that they are having real feelings for, emotional feelings for, their lover that committed suicide, presumably, is literally just floating there, right? The weird thing about it is the face of this individual, this woman, it looks alien, bro. And it was so, like, the way they handled that scene was so freaking creepy, bro. It was beyond creepy, because I don't know what this is. I don't know if they've all been developed in the lab and that's what they really look like. If there's an alien entity, I'm starting to believe that aliens have come, because even like the ship itself, it seems like it's sentient. Because the last time the director was communicating with it and asking, well, who's the person that was the intruder? And the sentient was like, would you know where the bacteria is in your body, where it's actually at? And I was like, this is freaking weird. And so again, like, I don't know what this is. It creeped me out. It really did creep me out. And at the same time, when they seemed like they were getting sick, I was like, well, like, either one, they're getting sick, or maybe two, like, they're dealing with the stress, or possibly dealing with a little bit of depression from kind of what's happening. Now, this was the crazy part. And I kind of caught on, like, just certain features, of Tokyo. But at the end of the episode, it revealed that not only is Tokyo presumably having physical contact with the person of the desires that's been drawn all these things. I thought they were just kissing, but they were butt naked. And so I was like, I don't know what's going on. And it is shown that Tokyo's a girl. Now, this is the weirder thing. I don't know what's weirder. The fact that every time that Tokyo goes and does something, somebody is looping the visuals wherever Tokyo goes. So it clears the tracks. Now, the footprint was the one thing that messed her up. But somebody is looping the footage, because the same thing happened here. When she left, like, it's looped. And I don't know if she's doing that mentally. But it's just such a freaking weird. And again, that's why I said there's perfect anime episode. There's science fiction, there's love, there's a lot of great humor and comedic timing, amazing animation, great music, expansion of characters. Like, the world itself is building. And again, that's why I said this is a perfect anime episode. But let me know your thoughts. Let me know how you think about episode 6. I'm about to go to episode 7 in just a second. Make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell button. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Peace, people.
Filing out the top of
I can see the skyline, 50 mile radius on my timeline. Ain't nothing on my mind. Oh Lord.